Well, the first is you have to have protection, right? You have to have sort of political. So somebody has to be bold, be sort of the decider, the person who can sort of force change through. And that was me, you know? And so what I had to have, what I had to protect all the people who worked for me so that they knew if they took a big risk, if they did something that people might think was a bit aggressive or a bit crazy, it didn't matter because Alec wanted it. And so I then needed to have Obama and Clinton protect me. So that when people got pissed off, if Alec's being very aggressive or Alec's team's being very aggressive, or if some old white guy who's like 60 years old doesn't like a 25-year-old woman saying we're going to do this, vaffanculo, you know, Alec says do it, so you got to do it. So the 25-year-old girl could tell the 60-year-old man what to do because she knew I was behind her. Do you see what I'm saying? So the first the first thing is that. The second thing is, so the first thing is having the political cover. The second thing is having a very clear vision and goals. So you don't sit around all day talking about what you should be working on. It's very clear. It's transparent. This is why KPIs are important, right? Like KPIs might seem really boring. They might seem tedious, but you know what? If you can't measure what you're trying to get done, you're not going to get anything done. And so as long as there's a really transparent process and a shared vision and a shared set of measurable expectations for what you're trying to get done, then it makes it easier to then push something through, right? So that's the second thing. And then the third thing is, again, coraggio. Sometimes, you can't just fall over and cry every time somebody opposes you, or if somebody doesn't like what you're doing. Sometimes you have to have the courage to say, I don't care if you disagree. And I'm not going to spend all day debating with you. I'm going to do it. And so every now and then you have to just have the courage to do things, even though there's a lot of people sort of talking at the side of you about, maybe you should be doing something differently.
Yeah, sure. I guess this is the main key word in our interview that we will bring home today. That's very interesting.
I would also say one thing about this, Carlos, is, most of the people who are going to be watching this are young. And look, I know you have to be careful about risk, but if you're not feeding children, if you're not paying for school, like, you can take more risk when you're in your 20s and 30s than you can when you're in your 40s and 50s. And I got news for you. If you're not taking risks in your 20s and 30s, you will not take risks in your 40s and 50s. For all that I've accomplished in my life, my biggest regrets are not the things that I did. They're the things that I didn't do.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I agree with that. And it's very nice to hear it from someone like you. And yeah, I also came to that conclusion. That's something you have to build in your culture. And that is for sure something that I and all the other Aurora fellows for sure want to do, to take audacious goal and do it and do things that are at the limit. And if those breaks you, whatever,
exactly.
Get up and go forward. Yeah.